Okay. Good morning. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Good morning. Calling the roll for the Monday, September 19th Board of Control meeting. It's 11 a.m. We have Dale Miller.
Here.
We have Trevor McAleer serving as Pernell Jones.
Here.
We have James Boyle serving as Nan Baker.
Present.
We have Michael Dever.
Here.
We have Lee Tucker serving as the fiscal officer.
Here.
And we have Paul Porter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, if we can take a minute to review last week's minutes from 9/12/2022. Are there any corrections or changes to the minutes? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from last Board of Control meeting. Is there a second? Oh, seconded by Mr. Dever. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item minutes approved. Is there any public comment?
There's no public comment this morning.
Okay, moving on to contracts and awards.
We have BC 2022-548, Department of Public Works submitting an amendment to the agreement with Cuyahoga County Planning Commission for planning and technical services for the period June 1st, 2020, and through December 31st, 2022, to extend the time period to June 30th, 2023, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $75,000.
Hi, good morning, Eric Mack, Public Works. This is for the extension of the Lakefront Public Access Plan to continue pursuing grants and other funding opportunities.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Boyle. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
The next item is BC 2022-549, Department of Public Works recommending an award and enter into a contract with Michael Baker International in the amount not to exceed $378,898 for design and engineering services for the rehabilitation of the Denison Harvard Bridge 04.09 over the Cuyahoga River, CSX, and Norfolk Southern Railroads, and Jennings Road in the city of Cleveland and Village of Cuyahoga Heights, effective upon contract signature of all parties through December 31st, 2024.
Hi again, Eric Mack, Public Works. This is following a typical two-step process where this will be looking at what our solutions are to rehabilitate the bridge, and then we'll come back with a part two with once we have that figured out, and they will take it to final plans. We had 3 people submit, and we selected Michael Baker, and they have met all of the DVE goals.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item?
Yes.
Councilman Miller?
What is the anticipated total project cost and timetable for the overall bridge rehabilitation?
The overall cost is slated for just the design at $1 million. This is for roughly $378,000. So that remainder then will then take us to part 2. As far as the time frame goes, we are looking for construction in the fiscal year of 2027. So that begins the fall of 2026.
And what's the estimated cost on the overall construction?
That will be determined as part of this first step. I don't want to speculate to see how much things will cost, but they will have that figured out before we move into the next piece.
Whatever it is, it'll be twice as much by 2027.
Correct. Inflation is very high.
Mr. Chair?
Sure.
Basically a general comment on it. This is our largest and longest bridge that Cuyahoga County maintains. It's roughly 3,000 feet long, roughly 3 aircraft carriers long. It's a monster of a project. So we have to get started at this time to go through the design phase of it, but this is a substantial project that we'll be taking on in 2027.
And why do we have to wait until 2027?
Well, just some of the funding that's going to come in order through ODOT because we're putting it onto their schedule also.
Yes, we're pursuing a lot of different funding streams because of the large cost, and we have to look at several years ahead.
And what's the condition of the bridge? Is it in an immediate need of repair, or will it still be somewhat decent till 2027?
It'll be somewhat decent. So this is like all of our bridges. We then inspect them yearly, and this is not on our problem list at all. So there's no issue.
Any additional questions? Hearing no additional questions, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
The next item is BC 2022-550, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to MNJ Technologies Direct Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $7,182 for a state contract purchase of computer workstations and accessories to be used in the Cuyahoga County Jail, and recommending a purchase order in connection with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Janelle Green, Department of IT. This purchase of $7,182 to M&J is for 6 workstations, which is inclusive of 6 monitors and 7 HDMI cables that will allow us to install computers at the central booking that will be added to the master control in Jail 1. And this will be used for viewing the cameras in the Sally Port and other areas, of the jail complex.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item?
Yes. Is the central booking program still on track to be fully operational by the end of the month?
I would not have that information. I can put that out there to those who do have that information and have them get back to you on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional questions, Mr. Boyle?
My question is more about the jail side, and I assume that's not something that is in your bailiwick.
That is not.
All right, I'll shoot you an email and afterwards, and if you can forward it on to them, I just have a
Sure.
couple questions.
All right.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? Hearing none, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Dever. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2022-551, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to Integrated Precision Systems in the amount not to exceed $6,115.08 for a state contract purchase of equipment, installation, and programming services for 4 surveillance cameras to be used in the Cuyahoga County Jail, and recommending a purchase order in connection with said RFP exemption.
Janelle Green, Department of IT. These 4 surveillance cameras will be on the 10th floor of Jail 1. This will cover portions of the hallway and the chapel and will be added to the network camera system.
Thank you. Are there any questions regarding this? Hearing no questions, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Boyle. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Thank you.
The next item is BC 2022-552, Court of Common Pleas, Domestic Relations Court Division, submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to Ohio Legal Help in the amount not to exceed $121,225 for implementation of the Cuyahoga County Domestic Relations Virtual Self-Help Center project, effective upon contract signature of all parties through June 30th, 2023, and recommending a contract in connection with said RFP exemption.
Good morning. Justin Seaton with the Domestic Relations Court. The objective here with this project is to establish a modern, full-service virtual self-help center and provide self-service online tools that are accessible through the court's website, and which will allow parties to prepare and file on their own a complete set of forms to initiate new cases and file new documents on already active cases. The court's goal is to improve the user experience of self-represented parties by making a form preparation convenient and easy to understand and improving access to justice for all.
Oh, thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Councilman Miller?
Yes. My question is, what percentage of people currently file their cases without formal legal assistance?
Our self-represented population right now is somewhere around the 70% mark to 75%.
Okay, I didn't know it was that high.
Any additional questions?
Okay. Well, this would, given that high percentage, this would seem like a good investment.
Go ahead.
Mr. Boyle? Mr. McAleer?
Justin, good morning. Will there be technology grant funds for the ongoing maintenance of it, or will the court be responsible after it's implemented?
So this project, the fund will take us through July of 2023, and then after that part, it was pretty to train the trainer. So there will be trained to maintain the system to a certain extent, and then there will be a maintenance period that we will have to maintain ongoing for support, maintenance, security.
Do we know the maintenance costs or annual license costs or whatever? What's the ongoing cost after it's implemented?
We know right now that it's going to be $5,000 for the initial phase, and then there will be an agreed upon sum that will come to after the conclusion of that.
Thank you.
Justin,
Ms. Boyle?
where physically are these stations going to be?
They're physically, I'm not 100% sure. They will not be physically located on our site. Ohio Legal Help will maintain all the servers and security access to that platform.
Is it expected to be within the old county courthouse, though? I mean, somewhere in, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out location-wise how this is gonna look.
So ideally, this will be an online platform, so it'll be on our website,
Got
and
it.
we'll also plan on having like in-house kiosks. So those that don't have access can come in home, and we can provide the same service in-house, but you can also do the same thing from home. So it's like creating an account. You can start, you can stop, you can come back whenever you want. So it's not, it allows person to create an account, start what they're gonna do, they can look up information, come back, don't lose where they're at. And the logic behind it is it's self-guided interviews. So it takes them through the steps of asking the questions and what they do. So you can really do it from anywhere,
Okay.
is a short answer.
I agree with Councilman Miller. I mean, this is, I've worked there, so I know a bit of it, and it really needs a lot of help. And you get into a lot of providing legal assistance, you know, where you're practicing law without a license type of nonsense. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's a lot of people in that courthouse who need help. And hopefully this will provide some level of relief.
Mr. McAleer?
Justin, will it be free for the user, or will there be a charge?
There was no additional charge at this time for the user, no.
Are there any additional questions? Hearing none, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Thank you.
The next item is BC 2022-553, Court of Common Pleas Juvenile Court Division, submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to Ohio Guidestone in the amount not to exceed $60,000 for diversion case management services for the period July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2024, and recommending a contract in connection with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Tara Brown, Juvenile Court. This is our diversion case management services contract amendment. It's with Ohio Guidestone. They are identified by the Reclaim grant. It's 100% funded by Reclaim. This is a late item. The Reclaim award notification approval process doesn't start until after the contract has expired, and then there are budgets that have to be set up, which required additional time.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. Second by Mr. Dever. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
The next item is BC 2022-554, Public Defender's Office recommending an award on a purchase order to Matthew Bender and Company Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $8,006.17 for a sole source purchase of LexisNexis law books.
Good morning, Mark Budzar with the Office of the Public Defender. This purchase is for 22 Ohio Criminal Law Handbooks and 22 Ohio Evidence Courtroom Manuals. Although we do have LexisNexis electronic versions, a law library is required for our internal office by our collective bargaining agreement.
Any questions on this item?
And I mean, they are absolutely essential.
I
Is
was
that
going to
enough
direct
for you?
any questions to Mr. Boyle.
No. How many are you buying? I mean, it doesn't seem like that's enough. By the way, we're not asking for more money. I'm just curious.
No, and actually on that subject, this is subject to reimbursement by the Ohio Public Defender. The reimbursement rate's 90% right now. We do feel like this is enough. They're rotated through, and every 2 years we look at purchasing new books.
Are there any additional questions? Hearing none, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Dever. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
The next item is BC 2022-555, Public Defender's Office recommending an award on a purchase order to Thompson Reuters doing business as West Publishing Corporation in the amount not to exceed $7,954.40 for a sole source purchase of Ohio Revised Law Books.
Mark Budzar, Office of the Public Defender. This is a different vendor, as Lexis does not publish these books. We're purchasing 5 Ohio arrest, search and seizure manuals, 3 Ohio DUI law manuals, and 1 domestic violence handbook. Again, subject to 90% reimbursement.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing none, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Moving on to consent agendas.
Moving on to the consent agenda items, which are BC 2022-556 through BC 2022-557.
Take a second to review those items. Are there any questions on the items listed? Hearing no questions, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item. Is there any
There are no other items.
public comment?
No public comment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.